Why won't you die? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 hardest things to kill in video games. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we'll be focusing on those enemies that soak up damage and are incredibly difficult to take down, though it must still be possible to kill them, so you won't find any invincible enemies here. Number 10, Lynels, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. While their appearances date back as far as the original Legend of Zelda on the NES, it's their latest incarnation in Breath of the Wild that has players second-guessing their travels. Lynels are incredibly fast, which makes them very hard to outrun. They have crazy amounts of HP too, which can make you burn through all of your weapons. On top of it all, they're armed with some of the strongest weapons in the game that can do crazy amounts of damage to you. If you're gonna take these guys on, make sure you've mastered the perfect dodge or shield parry, otherwise you'll end up becoming this thing's newest punching bag. Number 9, Dry Bones, Mario series. Nintendo's friendly Italian plumber has been through a lot on each of his many quests to save Princess Peach from Bowser, but no obstacle has been more resilient than those skeletal Koopas. Unlike almost everything else in the series, Mario's jump is powerless to stop them, as just after a few short seconds, their bones are put back together and they're right back to their little patrol routes. The varied power-ups are definitely one way to keep them down for good, but get caught in the wrong place at the wrong time and there's not much you can do to rid yourself of these pesky undead. Number 8, Deathclaws, Fallout series. One of the deadliest enemies of Fallout's post-apocalyptic landscape definitely lives up to its name. The blindingly fast lethal predators are total bullet sponges and aggressively charge at you to provide their iconic, lethal, and terrifying decapitation kills. Even the low-level variants have a ton of health, which makes them dangerous at any point in the game, and much more likely to get you before you get them. You better find yourself some reliable power armor if you plan on hunting some Deathclaws. Number 7, Crimson Heads, Resident Evil. Defying everything we've come to expect from zombies, Capcom's remake of their first entry of the Resident Evil franchise introduces these high-powered and aggressive walking corpses. They're quick, they can drain your health in just 2 hits, and no matter what gun you're using, they practically never die. Throw that all together with the narrow hallways, locked doors, and limited ammo that you've got, and you've got a recipe for one of the most sadistically designed enemies in the series. So, if you're wondering what all that kerosene you found is supposed to be used for, here it is. Number 6, Malboro, Final Fantasy series. It's always hard to know just how difficult something will be to kill until you finally come face to face with it. But even before we're past the loading screen in each new entry of this long-running series, we never look forward to our first encounter with these disgusting mess monsters. Regardless of how overpowered your party might be, every fresh fight starts off with some bad breath, and it's a roll of the dice to see what combination of status ailments you're going to be plagued with. If you're ever in an area with a lot of these things in it, then save early and save often. Number 5, Wobbuffet, Pokemon series. There's a lot of Pokemon that look awesome but fail to deliver on all the flash. But then there's this unassuming, and frankly a little ugly, high HP tank that just soaks up damage and spits it back twice as hard. Any aspiring trainers are highly advised to avoid using your strongest moves, because unless you're absolutely sure there's going to be a one-hit KO, you're guaranteed to be taking a hard counter in return every single time. Number 4, Big Daddy, BioShock.
Look, Mr. Bubbles, it's an angel.
These armored behemoths have been a favorite of gamers since the inception of the series for their loyalty and great design. But admiration means nothing when we need to dispose of them in order to harvest their little sisters, and these guys are some tough customers. And be patient, because it takes bullet after bullet after bullet to finally send them off to the scrap heap. And that is, of course, if they don't charge you down first. And your reward is probably just going to be another one around the corner, so good luck. Number 3, Tank, Left 4 Dead series. So, you just finished a grueling journey, but you're close to the safe house. You're out of medkits, you're low on ammo, and Bill is dead again. Suddenly the ground shakes, that music starts, and standing in your way is this monstrous Hulk-like infected. Seemingly always appearing at the worst possible times, the toughest enemy in Valve's zombie shooter relentlessly comes after the party, throwing concrete and bodies all over the place. There's really no weak point and no special trick. So, save your Molotovs, keep shooting, and hope that it doesn't have you in its sights. Number 2, Giant Crab, Dark Souls 3. In one of the most difficult series of games ever, there's no shortage of iconic, creepy, and well-designed, difficult enemies. Standing out from all of those, though, is this giant anime crab that comes seemingly out of nowhere to make your life miserable. The heavily armored crustacean not only is hell-bent on smashing you to death with its huge claws, but there's also ironically no weak point to target and attack to inflict massive damage. Topping it all off, if you try to cheese the sucker with fireballs or something, they just burrow and then come back again with full health. Great! Number 1, Regenerators, Resident Evil 4. Probably the most absorbent bullet sponges in all of gaming. No ammo feels truly wasted like the ones that you fire into these walking blue nightmare fuels. Healing quickly enough to make your knife and lower-powered firearms useless, gamers are essentially forced to waste their precious grenades and shotgun shells. And even then, each encounter can take forever. The trick to killing these things is to use a thermal scope with your rifle to shoot out the parasites that lie within its chest. But sometimes one of the parasites can be hidden on their backs, meaning that you'll have to get around them in order to shoot it, which is easier said than done. Given the opportunity, do yourself a favor and take the easy way out. Avoid it at all costs. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.